two Somali pirate boats closing in, ready to seize what they believe is an easy prize. But the moment they get close enough to see the truth, everything changes. So what exactly did they stumble into? And how fast did everything fall apart? The pirates thought they were chasing a cargo ship. Yes, big, slow, and easy for capture. Two small pirate boats, packed with armed Somali pirates, sped across the dark waters of the Gulf of Aden. Well, their target was that huge ship. There were no lights or any flags, so they thought that it was an unescorted cargo ship. But they were completely wrong. In less than 90 seconds, they understood what that was. Yes, it was a floating war fortress. It was not just a US Navy ship, but a full nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. The kind that sends fighter planes into the sky and carries more firepower than most countries on the planet. The pirates had AKs and RPGs. The carrier had 5,000 sailors, sea whiz cannons, radar-guided missile systems, and a zero-patience rule for threats. But what happened next was not a standoff. It was not a fight either. It was more like a lesson. Yes, a lesson that started with a warning and ended with the pirates lying face down on a Navy RHIB with weapons pointed at them. This is what happens when you choose the wrong ship, and this is what happens when you try to attack a US Navy aircraft carrier. These pirates made a very big mistake this time. The radar saw them first. It was two fast-moving dots without any AIS signal. They were coming in fast. Inside the combat center of the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower, the screen was switched on. The operator saw this and called it out right away. Two small boats were coming from bearing 85 and getting closer fast. In the Red Sea, that almost always means danger. So the officer on deck did not wait for any other opinion. He went straight to communications. On the other hand, Bridge and CIC alerted the flight deck. They were ordered to launch the Seahawk. It was fully active on the outside of the carrier. This was not a slow-moving convoy. Yes, it was a full strike group on patrol, and the carrier was the center of it. In less than 2 minutes, an MH-60R Seahawk started its rotors and took off from there. It had a door gunner and a powerful radar. It flew straight toward the threat. On the carrier, the flight deck crew moved instantly. Yellow shirts cleared the area, and the red shirts checked the weapons. Green shirts prepared another helicopter as well. Inside the CIC, a new update came in saying that the two skiffs were splitting up. One turned away, and the other kept coming straight toward the carrier. It was a classic pirate trick to confuse the target. The captain gave a calm order. Keep going forward and let them show their intentions. The Seahawk spotted the boats. The pilot reported what he saw. He said that the pirates had weapons ready, and that was enough for the Navy to confirm danger. A second Seahawk took off, and the RHIB teams on the destroyer USS Gravely were prepared to launch. On the carrier, the Sea Whiz cannons were ready as well. The ship was very calm. The Navy was not going to wait to be attacked, and the pirates had no idea about the mistake that they had made. They thought it was just a large ship sitting on water. But from the Navy's point of view, it was two threats coming fast, and everything was already moving. The skiff on the right kept coming. There was no change in speed, and they were taking no turns either. It was like they were moving with stupidity. The Seahawk lowered its altitude at 800 yards. The side gunner moved the M240 into position. There was a clear warning. They were showing a sign to let them know that they were in the wrong place. But the pirates did not stop. One even stood up holding a long metal object over his shoulder, and guess what? Yes, it was an RPG. That was the final sign. The threat was confirmed, and the Seahawk reported again. The pirates had weapons and were still coming. The captain did not panic on the Eisenhower. He was staying very calm. From the destroyer, two 11-meter RHIBs launched into the water. They carried Navy boarding teams wearing body armor and holding M4 rifles and flashbangs. That was the final sign. The threat was confirmed, and the Seahawk reported again. The pirates had weapons and were still coming. The captain did not panic on the Eisenhower. He was staying very calm. From the destroyer, two 11-meter RHIBs launched into the water. They carried Navy boarding teams wearing body armor and holding M4 rifles and flashbangs. They were not trying to negotiate. They were highly trained SWAT-style teams made for situations like this. So they knew how to handle situations like this. It all looked like a fast-moving chess game. One small skiff was trying to outsmart two warships and a helicopter, and it was not a smart plan. The Seahawk gave one last warning above them. The gunner fired a burst into the water right in front of the skiff. Their message was not that complicated. The pirates need to step back or be stopped. But this time, the pirates finally reacted, and it was too late. The RHIBs were closing in fast. The first Navy team blocked the skiff from the right, and the second blocked it from behind. They shouted through the loudspeaker and said, "Lay down your weapons, hands up, do it now." This made the pirates panic. One threw his AK into the water and another stood frozen. Whatever they did was a smart choice. Those who didn't listen to the Navy soon understood that they do not waste time. In under 30 seconds, it was all finished. Their weapons were taken, the pirates were zip-tied, and they were lying on the RHIB deck. Their skiff was hooked and towed away. The area was secure again. And Eisenhower kept moving forward without slowing down for even a moment. Aircraft carriers do not handle every threat alone. They have a whole team supporting them. And the pirates finally realized they had picked the wrong ship and the wrong oath. But the Navy was not done yet. When someone tries to attack a U.S. Navy aircraft carrier, the response will be harsher. The Navy always investigates as well, because they know how deep the problem would be. While the VBSS teams took the captured pirates to the Gravely, another Seahawk searched the area. It scanned for heat signals, hidden gear, and any signs that the group had a bigger plan. Everything was calm and controlled back on the Eisenhower. The carrier did not break formation. The flight deck kept launching jets, and the crew stayed on task. Pirates always chase money with small boats and old rifles. But the U.S. Navy runs 100,000-ton nuclear-powered fortresses that launch jets every half-minute and control large parts of the ocean. The second skiff did not escape either. A drone found it 6 nautical miles away near a fishing boat. Minutes later, a team from the USS Mason moved in and detained 2 more pirates. They also seized a laptop. It raised even more questions. But here is the funny part. Well, the first group of pirates still thought they had tried to attack a cargo ship. That was until a U.S. Marine told them, "You know you pulled up to an aircraft carrier, right? Now, why is a carrier the worst possible target? When you see a carrier, you need to know that it is more like a city. Yes, see a full strike group, destroyers, cruisers, submarines, supply ships, helicopters, drones, and fighter jets. It is like a floating war city." The USS Dwight D. Eisenhower is nuclear-powered and it is over 1,000 feet long. It has 5,000 people and can launch fighter jets every 25 seconds, and that is only the top deck. Below, there are huge hangars, weapon rooms, radar centers, and intelligence rooms, and everything is fully protected. The weapons include the Sea Whiz system, evolved Sea Sparrow missiles, MH-60R helicopters, EA-18G Growlers, E-2D radar planes, and more. The Navy did not just stop the pirates. They collected all the data. They understood that it was part of a bigger network. In less than 12 hours, the information was sent to command centers in the area, and the Navy knew the next attack could use drones or bigger weapons. So, every small attack is treated as a test or a warning. So, do you think the U.S. Navy should have let those pirates go? Or were they right to shut the situation down immediately? Let us know your answers in the comments below.